The whole world I wait for this. I make the beat drop off.
Good morning, nice and decent people. Another sound check. See if my audio is on. Let me know. Did some rejigging with the audio settings, so it may not sound as clear, but this is the best I can do today. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining us this morning, this Wednesday morning. It's hump day. We're almost over the hump for the week. Now, I had to move the members only stream till Saturday. I had it scheduled to Friday. I'm gonna actually do it Saturday. I think the time is pinned in the channel. Lots going on at the moment, but I have to do that. I must. And Sunday, the following day after, we'll do the giveaway for the 2K milestone. So back to back shenanigans going on the BBK Sports, right? We'll do the members stream, give the members what they want. We talk all things, not just football. And then the following day, we'll do the giveaway. Gift card / cold hard cash. However you want it. However the winner want it. Let me know and we will deliver. But big up to everyone. So admin notes. Tomorrow we're on the Bruce Banana. Tomorrow we're also on Uncomfortable Conversations with Rashid and Realist Gooner. Tomorrow we're also recording the Cold Corner podcast, episode number 4. Episode number 3 is currently out. So big up. And thank you all for supporting that project. Now, yesterday, people, there was football. Now, before I go any further, let's have a moment of silence or a rest in peace for Italian football. Seriously, I think Italian football is dead. Last year's finalists, big bad Inter, Footy Judge Pussio, got everything to say about Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. And yesterday he got humbled by Bodo Glimt, Bodo Glimt. Rest in peace to all of Italian football. Now, one went out yesterday. That was one, the finalists from last year, who embarrassed all of Italy after playing that one in the semifinal against Barcelona, only to get dumped out 5-0 in the final. Mad, yeah? The other 2 Italian clubs are going home today. They're going home. Gala is what? 5-2 up on Juve. Atalanta is 2-0 down to Dortmund. They're going to Dortmund, my favorite stadium to go to outside of the Emirates, Signal Iduna Park in Germany. Bad boy stadium. Love it. It is a vibe. You know what I mean? And then Italian football, the national team, in a qualifier on March 29th against Northern Ireland. So that man could not go to another World Cup. Italian football, something's going on. Gianni. I need to schedule Gianni to talk about this thing. But maybe he had covered it yesterday in his I think he did like a 4-hour show yesterday, Gianni. Brother. Another admin note. I think we'll redirect to Gianni after this because he's live right after this with the Waffle Down with who you paid to see. But I just have to, as a 80s baby, grew up in the 90s, Serie A was it. It was it. It needs to be studied. There has to be like some kind of documentary out there I can go watch that will highlight the fall of Italian football from where it was to where it is now. Like, seriously, like no one could tell me back in the 90s that Italian football would be what it is now. The way they used to import Brazilian talent at a raw age. And it didn't take them 3-4 years to develop. They were ready right away. To see him go from that to this, if you told me what's happening now, what's going to happen in the 90s, I would have slapped you. But I also would have slapped you if you told me in 2004 that we would go on to do 22 years without winning the league title. I would have slapped you then too, because then you would have been crazy. I don't know what would have been a crazier take, but both turned out to be true. It's mad. Italian football. Don't know what's going on, but who's going to save them? And I don't see it getting any better. You know, we talk about Liverpool's title defense being one of the worst ever, eh? But remember, Napoli won Serie A not too long ago and then finished like 40 points off the league title the very next year. And it's not because they had lost Kvaratskhelia, they still had all the same players. They had Kvaratskhelia, they had Osimhen, they had Anguissa, they had all these men and finished like 40 points off the league title. Somewhere along that part. Now, that started to look like it was going to be a turning point for them when they talk about different champions. You know, Inter won it this year. It's no longer the Juventus dominance, and it's a good thing for the league that it has parity, and that hasn't helped. It's still a dead league. And for the Champions League in its new format, top 8 teams go through. Not one Italian team made the top 8. Not one. That's why all 3 of them are in the playoff, and all 3 of them are going home today. Or the other 2. One went home yesterday. You want to tell me in a competition of 8 games, Tottenham are finishing 4th, and no Italian team can finish in the top 8? That is mad. Now, they talk about the Premier League being the best league in the world. That's a debatable, depending on what you mean by best. I think it's the best packaged. I think it's the best marketed. I don't think it's the best football. But when the Premier League has 6 teams in the Champions League, and they're performing like this, when only 1 out of the 6 had to go into the playoff, it does reflect favorably on the Premier League. Now, the Premier League or the English teams need to start backing that up by actually start racking up some of these trophies like the other countries. But what has happened to Italian football? It's bad. It's absolute madness. Yeah, but while we're shitting on Italian teams and Judge Mo and everyone who supports Inter, if we know any, we have to look at Bodo Glimt. That's what Tony Claude calls him, Bodo Glimt. So I'm gonna Bodo Glimt beating City. They had some good wins under their belt. Now, whoever they can match up with, I know this story is going to be hyped up. No one wants to see Bodo now. Trust me, people want to see Bodo. Their magical run will end at some point, and I think it ends in the round of 16. Can you imagine Bodo getting to a quarterfinals? Oh yeah, that'll be mad. But they deserve some credit, right? They fully deserve to beat Inter over the 2 legs. And there are a lot of big clubs who may not be able to say they could have done what Bodo Glimt just did, given the resources available to them. You know what I mean? But pardon my 9-minute rant, people. Big up to Wahaha, resident United fan. Big up to Joins. What's she telling me? You good, yeah? That's it, that's it. You a damn fool, you know. I said, rest in pizza. Big up to Mito, man. Big up to Kwaja. There's the link for Wahaha, people. Make sure that we're subbing to Wahaha, man. Well, it's good to see Wahaha in a good mood, you know, because the back end of last year's beginning of the season, it was kind of rough for United, but he pulled through. Because even yesterday, I'm saying maybe United have turned the corner, you know, to the point where they might have to give Mr. O'Carrick the job, you know. I have to give him the job. Atletico are through now. Yeah, it'll be very interesting tonight after these games are ended, and then we have a clearer picture of who's on what side and all this shit, and then you will see the odds makers start to put numbers on things of, hey, who's favored, who's gonna do this, and who's gonna do, and I'm excited for it because, like most teams that finish in the top 8, you're sitting there, you're looking like, okay. Even though there are some tough teams in the playoff that we could possibly match up against, most of the teams in the top, especially the top half of the top 8, the top 4 teams in the Champions League are looking at it like, I fancy our chances against anyone we draw because they have the second leg at home. But you can look at Inter, They had the second leg at the San Siro and still shit the bed. You get beat off Bodo Glimt home and away, brother. That's embarrassing. Sack everybody. If you're going to sack Allegri for losing in the final 5-0 because this was an embarrassing performance, well, albeit you got to a final. You get to you go from finalist to get knocked out by Bodo. Come on. Heads have to roll for that. You know what I mean? Hey, there you go, Guna SC. Got you, man. Soothing. Big up to Godfrey. Serie A is cooked this season. I think the damage is beyond the season, if I'm being honest, Godfrey. Because if the Premier League had 3 teams in this format, right? In this format, when you're matched up with the fact that they expanded the teams, the tournament, and you have teams like Carrier and Villarreal and Slavia Prague, winless, played 8 games and are winless, right? So the competition in the league phase isn't great. Isn't great as a stretch. It's pretty damn poor. Carrier lost every single game in the round of 16. Occasionally, a team would go over 6, or under the old format. Occasionally, a team would go over 6. You know what I mean? They would scam a win. Even Sheffield wins or Sheriff had scammed a win against Real Madrid one year in the group phase. Villarreal, Villarreal is one of the biggest clubs in Spain. Not named the top 2. Mad. These are Europa League winners under Unai Emery not too long ago. Finished 35th out of 36 teams. That's mad. Italian football. It's not a good look. Yeah, he got sacked. Justice for Inzaghi, Yomi. I wish I could say justice for Xabi Alonso, but I really don't have any sympathy for anyone who takes that Real Madrid job right now, because it's only going to end one way. And man, them are still, and it's not like they're paying Arteta money. If Perez is over there handing out big contracts, like 15.6 to coach the biggest club in the world, and managers are lining up for it, but they're paying regular money. That Carlo was on 8 million euro. He was making half the money Arteta making, and it ended badly for him. This is Don Carlo we're talking about, a manager who sits at the GOAT table, the Don. But managers are lining up to go ruin their careers at Real Madrid, because it's a poison chalice with all them diva men them. But big up to Godfrey, man. Appreciate you, Maji. I prefer La Liga to the Prem to watch, but yeah, the Prem is top. It's very well packaged, and part of that is because it's English. English is the official language of FIFA. You know what I mean? So it's very easy to follow for a worldwide audience. But just for the football, the pure football, I've seen teams in Segundo, second division in Spain, that play better football than Premier League teams. Where Premier League props up a cold night in Stoke as a spectacle. But no one wants to see that shit. Now, a cold night in Segundo in Stoke. Now, a warm afternoon in Spain, the football is better. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Gun Enrique, man. I hear you, my G. Espio with his predictions. Leeds. You got Leeds, 3-1 Leeds. 3-1 Chelsea. Or 2-1. Oh, man, anything but an Arsenal win, yeah? Good. Big you up, man. Big up. And there are the links, people. There are the links for the legends in the chat. If we end being full final with Bodo, I don't care who they beat on the run. Sack him, Afiguan. Hey, imagine. You know what? How Tottenham can get Bodo Glimt in the semifinal in the Europa League last year, and everyone is saying, yo, it was a shit run. They had Bodo Glimt in the semifinal. How easy was the path? And it was easy. Just because Bodo is playing good now, we're not going to pretend like it wasn't an easy run. You know what I mean? Like, people would lick their lips for Bodo Glimt in a semifinal, just like all the Liverpool fans were licking their lips when they got Tottenham in the final in 2019 in the Champions League. They were like, okay, this is number 6 guaranteed. They could have forfeited the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Big you up, man. Big you up. Trossard, the actor, dies for waste time against League Prem. Then Cappuccino come to end Arsenal. He loves Calafiori, man. He loves Calafiori. That was a. I wish you were here after that performance because we actually went in on the team for that one SPO. But yeah, big up, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Arsenal will match up with Dortmund or Leverkusen, I think. And either one of these, I fancy us to win, yeah? I fancy us to win against either one of those. Even though that Dortmund is a mother. I'm not going to lie. And if I was still living in Germany and we drew Dortmund, I would have went to the game. Because I am a massive, massive fan of that stadium. You know, big you up, man. Big up, Yomi. Best that I couldn't beat Tottenham this season. Why are you talking? Speaking of Tottenham, we ain't even got to go to Tottenham. Bodo. While we're on the topic of Bodo, let's not forget that Man City went to damn Norway and got slapped up to the likes of this Bodo team. But you know, Dortmund could be a banana skin. You know what I mean? So, for fuck's sake, messages not going through again without an error. Was saying Footy Fraud Mo is just another waste man. Inter is besting off focusing on Serie A, in my opinion. No chance to win it with this team. I hear it, and they're running away with La Liga. So I don't even know what to make of that. But Footy Judge is kind of like, I liken him to Tobes on the Big Six, right? Because Terry Flores bring Mo on, and then you got all of these panelists and all these other men. They're pretending to care or pretending to give a damn about Inter when Mo is on. You know what I'm saying? So Mo is just in this space, shitting on everybody else's team, but he had a big, big slice of humble pie yesterday. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I did get this one. I think I see your other comments as well. They desperately need a rebuild, man. From the not just at that club level, the national team level. Like, Italy cannot miss another World Cup. This is crazy. We never thought we would see the day when men are struggling to make the World Cup, regardless of how difficult the path is. You have to make it. Like, what the hell is going on? Big up to Kwaja. So, we could face. Okay, yeah, man. Leverkusen. I think I'd rather take Leverkusen than Dortmund. I think Leverkusen is a more favorable matchup for us. I used to watch Sevilla in Europa with Sangria and Sun. Now I'm watching Stokes now with a Fosters and getting rained on. Peak, it's. But I don't know, man. Spanish football is everybody can play. Everyone is good with the ball at their feet, whether they're defender, midfielder, the midfielders. It's like they start out at defenders, and as they develop with their tech and their footwork, they get moved into midfield. Because some of the ballers in Segundo, man, I swear they would cook in this area. Big up to Jagans, man. Manners and respect, my general. Outside, onward and upward. SPO, you're doing way too much right now with Chelsea. Like, Chelsea don't need anyone from Man City to suck their dick. Like, get off Chelsea. You were a Tottenham fan last year. You are the great Man City. You are Pep Almighty. You don't need Chelsea's help or anyone else to beat Arsenal, right? You are still in the driver's seat. You win all your games, you win the league, which we'll touch on later. So you can get Chelsea's dick out your mouth. Please, Anton. Leverkusen, it doesn't matter. We should be smashing both teams, says Godfrey. I watched Dortmund versus Leipzig, and both of them struggle. Yeah. We should be favorites against either one of those. We will be favorites against either one of those. But you know us, we won't make it easy. We had every opportunity to make this title race easy. and we have made it very difficult for ourselves. Let's see how the boys respond to a Champions League draw of either one of those. Yeah. I'm getting a second window to see if it went through. All right, man. Cool. Big up. Appreciate that. So Dortmund ain't great. Atalanta can still do them one. The thing is, I think Dortmund will score. I think Dortmund will score, right? Inter needed to score first yesterday and couldn't break down Bodo. Bodo was so resolute in their attempt to try to score today because they must. I think Dortmund will get one. You know, the race is only for two clubs: Man City versus Arsenal. That's more like it. Villa are out from the race. Villa looking back like Arsenal. No, this is better. Yeah, it's a race between you and us. You know, and the way you're getting on this Chelsea hype, just allow it. Yeah. I can see your comment. Is YouTube having a May today again? Really and truly, YouTube having a May. I can see all your comments. I see your comments, good Nancy. One second. Let me see what settings can I adjust here. Because my settings are see everyone that's something's off here. Something is definitely off here on YouTube. But I can't stop it in mid-flight. Yeah, YouTube is broken. I'm gonna have to take Jagan's advice and actually do the Twitch thing. I downloaded the app, but I still have to set up the account. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. And wouldn't count out Juve. Gala aren't reliable to me. 5-3. You think 3? You know. Well, they are at home still. Think if they get a goal in the first half, shit, we get 2 goals in the first half, it could be long. But they have to score first, you know. And this is when Osimhen would thrive in it. When Juve has to be expansive and push to make up 3 goals, because it's not like they can go into the game. They can't do a Liam Rosinho and remember when Chelsea came to the Emirates and was defending a 1-goal deficit in the Carabao second leg. Like Juve, you can't do that. You must come out the blocks early. And I think in there, just like Atalanta Dortmund, in their attempt to go ahead and bust net, they will end up conceding at least 1. And I think they concede 1 goal today is just too much of a mountain for them to climb. You know what I mean? Hey, man, big up. Leverkusen will either play Bayern or Arsenal. If you're Bayern Leverkusen, so if you ask a Bayern Leverkusen player right now, who do you want? Arsenal or Bayern? They'll probably want to say, hey, give us Arsenal. Right? Or will they say Bayern because we know how they play and we play against them every week? I don't know. It's interesting. Should be right after the games. If it's no later than tomorrow or Friday. But I wish they had did it. Okay, it's Friday. Okay, there it is, man. Deliver. The Wolves and City games are subject to change from the UCL clash. Yeah, I think the Wolves. Oh, damn. Because City already had one of their fixtures rearranged, didn't it? Because they were supposed to play Palace when we had to rearrange our fixture with Wolves. Palace had a Europa League fixture, so they couldn't. So this could mean City could have 2 games in hand on us. You know, that's crazy. Now, speaking of 2 games in hand, let me get through the rest of these comments before I transition. 16 teams will discover their opponents in the Champions League knockout draw on Friday, 11 g.m. Oh, all right, we're there for it. I'm sure everyone will be doing a draw along. We might face Borussia Dortmund or Atalanta. Okay, cool. We're there for it, man. We're on the other side of the bracket from Bayern still. Allison is a fraud. for giving away that pen. Which one? Why Man City plays too much against Newcastle in the season, the FA Cup. Oh, yeah. This is Man City fatigue. Damn, okay. Yeah, I don't. But you want Newcastle because you have their number. I don't think Newcastle has the motivation to go up against a City team. Champions League, FA Cup. I think they're well reserved to know that. The only way they can beat City in the FA Cup is if City try to prioritize other things. And right now with Man City's with Man City having everyone coming back into form, Pep have everyone well rested, it could be very long for Newcastle. Like they could play City 6 times this year, end up with 6 losses. And then them are gonna be like, yeah, we own you. We absolutely own you. Now, where was the comment that segued me into my next talking point? I just saw it. Where the hell was it? Oh yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up to Kwaja. I'm there, man. Appreciate every single one of y'all helping me get to 2K. And that's why we're doing the giveaway on Sunday. Member stream Saturday, giveaway Sunday. That's what we're doing. It's probably some weird AI censorship they've been trying to put in their system. Yeah. And this thing is like, you gotta this one only went through on the 3rd try. Right. And right now, you know what? I did a stream like 2 weeks ago, and at the end of the stream, I had 33 likes, hella views, and then when the video got processed, it only showed 11 likes. All the likes disappeared. Kind of like I'm looking at it now, and it shows 11 likes. So it could be another one of those ones. It's mad. So I understand it. If the comments aren't coming through, I'll proceed with the talking points as planned. Now, the dopamine. Now, big up to my bro Views that always talks about dopamine, right? The dopamine is a hell of a thing, and it's actually making its way around the fan base at a rapid level, just like we had predicted it would, right? Everyone was upset after we dropped points at the Molyneux, 2-0 up, bottle job. We know how that goes. However, after the match, the fan cancel, all them AFTV man was get Arteta out, and everyone was crashing it on him. Everyone, even the people who wanted to give him one more year, everybody was crashing it on Arteta. Remember? And then on this side of the fence, I said, View said, Gunnar said, every one of us said, listen, beat Spurs on Sunday. It doesn't even have to be a battery. As long as it's a convincing win, it could be a 2-0 margin. Arteta will be the best manager in the world again. And so said, so done. And it hasn't stopped there. It's the fog of the dopamine is just carrying on and on and on and on to the point where people forget that it's still only a 2-point lead. People are forgetting, because of the dopamine, that if Manchester City win all their games, they win the Premier League. Now, it is true that if we win all our games, we win the Premier League, but that would require us to win 10 games. When have we ever seen us win 10 games under this regime? Highly unlikely. Now, I don't think Man City are going to go on to win all 11 of theirs. But if one team were to do it, it would be them, not us. So how is the dopamine so powerful that it's overshadowing the fact that we still don't have it all in our hands completely? Like, it's tug of war now. And from where we were after Sunderland, 9 points clear, to just fast forward 2 weeks, 9 points clear to it's no longer in our hands completely. It's mad. But that's what dopamine does. When it hits, it takes you completely away from reality. And that is why we're here. I think that's why our channels are surviving. You know, to the point where men like SPO can control us because they know that if they go on a run, the title is theirs. You know? But that's the power of dopamine. Do not listen, Tottenham have two home wins this season. We were supposed to beat them, man. And as bad as a League One side came to the Emirates and we played the ball around them, they were away playing the team at the top of the Premier League. Tottenham, you're a Premier League team established. Big Six at home. and we had to gifted you a goal for you to be in the damn game. All that is feeding the dopamine hype to make people forget that it's only still a 2-point lead. Because from this point forward, I don't know what the bookies say, but I think if you look at City's fixtures for the next 11 games, more than likely they're favorites to win all of them. I'm saying that they will. I don't think they go 11-0 from here. There's only one team that's won 11 games on the bounce this season, and that was Villa. The problem is Villa started so poorly. They won 11 games in a row and still couldn't see first place. That is crazy, you know. Because if we win 10 games, well, we only have 10 left. I think if we win 9 out of 10, we win the Premier League. The numbers have to be changed every week now because we went from 19 cup finals to 10 potential banana skins. And now I'm seeing other people in the spaces starting to pick up that narrative, talking about cup final. But I mean, I said it when we were at the halfway point that we had 19 cup finals, and I'm going to be completely honest. We didn't approach those games from match week 20 to match week 27 like cup finals. We didn't. You know? Newcastle's best chances in the FA Cup. Yeah, I agree. And it depends on when those games fall and when they will be played. Because if you're Newcastle, you know, I get it, but don't let carry your bag almighty. You're not winning the Champions League, right? You're not. And you're out of all the cups, nowhere near the league title. Fast forward to this point, we're looking at Newcastle in Man United positions. So we were talking about last year, bottom of the table, negative goal difference. That's mad. You know what I mean? Big up to the Southern Gouda, man. Big up to Matt. Big you up, my G. Big up to Tony Claude. So listen, we talk about dopamine and Tony Claude shows up. You see, I swear, it's the candy man. Big up to Matty. Big up to Matty, man. What Matt saying? All I'm going to say is versus Inter. Inter got took to the cleaners, but I don't see any reaction videos about it. But I did see one talking about how Martin Keown called out the Arsenal TalkSport agenda. Imagine, listen, this is what Matty is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I touched on that earlier, but yeah, what's the why? We always say, what's the why? You know what I mean? We know. And you know what? Speaking of it, it's this transition, right? This quickly before I get back into the dopamine. Wake up this morning and you know, I get all the notifications. Everybody's live. I get the never a foul notification, yeah? The never a foul notification comes on, and then I click on it because it's at the very top. And then I look at the never a foul panel, and this is what I see. Whoever is not looking at this screen right now, I see a Liverpool fan, I see a United fan, I see a Chelsea fan, I see a City fan, and a Tottenham fan. But let me take Maddie's comment off the screen right now. But look at the damn title of the video, people. Look at the damn title of the video. There's not one Arsenal fan on the fucking panel. But look at the title. Arsenal reminds City of who they are. There is no shortage of Arsenal fans for Never a Foul. They got all the delusional men them in the Never a Foul group chat. Never a Foul wants some Arsenal content. They don't call Matt. They don't call Views. They hardly ever call Lee Gunner or Northside. It's when they need some. It's when it completely goes tits up. But throughout the season, these men have all the positive merchants on there. There's not one Arsenal panel member on the fucking stage, but it's a Arsenal title. That's how the video, like, brother. That have these men have no shame. Small club, the tiny little. That's how the show started. That's how it finished. Not one Arsenal fan on the panel. There is no shortage of Arsenal fans in the world. I promise you that, especially online. And these men cannot make a show. But brother, Man United are cooking right now. There's plenty of content to talk about. This show is hosted by a United fan. Chelsea just shit the bed versus Burnley. They're in the Champions League. Representation. This is the taxation without representation, man. Like in DC. See, we're here to call out the fuckery. You know what I mean? But back to the dopamine that my bro Views always calls it. The dopamine has made people forget that it's still only a 2-point lead. Their game in hand against Palace, they're going to win that. Of course, we hope not. But they're heavy favorites. And that's what today's stream was all about. It's Wednesday. It's a slow day in sports. It's the playoff in the Champions League. Aren't too many of the big teams at risk of going out today. That was yesterday. Who we got going out today? Let me have a quick peek. I'm willing to put some money that Dortmund get the job done. If Dortmund go out today, that's a colossal. No, they're away. They're away. Oh shit. No. Atalanta score first. It could be tricky. But Juve have a monumental mount to climb. Could Monaco do it over PSG? That's probably the game I'm going to watch. I'm not going to watch the Benfica Real Madrid. I'm going to be completely honest. Because I think Vinny's going to be on some wind-up thing. Vinny be on some wind-up thing when he is a regular Vinny. But now that Vinny is in his victim mode, watch him do some bullshit today. Calling it now. You know what I mean? Big up to Terrell Gunner, man. Big you up, Madrid. Manners and respect. Says so much dopamine, his jaw started dancing. Jesus. Big up to the general, Darren. Manners and respect, Majid. See, I'm clicking the damn shit and the comment won't come up. There we go. Come on, YouTube. Don't do me like this today. Even StreamYard doing me dirty. We were supposed to beat Wolves too and shit the bed. The derby is a one-off. Go beat Brighton. And then we're back on the train. Until City drop points again, I'm not comfortable. I'm gonna be 100. Until that lead is more than 2, I'm not comfortable. I wasn't comfortable when it was 4 or 6. Nervous as hell now that it's 2. It's criminal, people, that City fans, City players, and City coaches can look at themselves and look in the mirror and say, if we win every game, the Premier League is ours. They shouldn't be in that position. We gifted them that hope. That hope, man. And we gifted them that hope from winning positions at the GTEC Stadium and at the Molineux. Quad wanker, conveniently missing. Tony, the dopamine. And big up to Tony, because Tony had to go on Never a Foul yesterday. Not Never a Foul. On Dan Potts. How dare I disrespect Dan Potts like that? Tony had to go on the 12th man and face the pit bull and the ravagery of Arteta lover like Stricto and who else was on there? I'm not sure. But Tony held his own. Big up to Tony, man. Matt getting his big ups. Yeah, big up to Matt, the Southern winner. Big up to Wesley. Wesley, what you telling me? After that Spurs game, I realized I've been bamboozled by the swindler Arteta. Do you know that the win doesn't better our situation unless we win all that? What? Goddamn. Brother, this is it. Thank you, Wesley. This is essentially what I've been trying to say. So Wesley just said what I've been trying to say, but smarter. It's dopamine. You've been bamboozled, or you felt like you got bamboozled because the dopamine, the rush of the head, and because it's Tottenham, we're always going to get joy about being them, man. And the way we went about it even further would cloud your judgment. But it's still a 2-point lead when City win their game in hand. Yeah. You Arsenal shouldn't be shitting yourself against bottom teams. It's your fault. You draw against Wolves. I can't disagree. I cannot. Big up to men like Sammy. The football rig is upon us. Manners and respect, my G. Hope you're good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in, man. Manners and respect. Tony Claude had to hold it down against the mutants, the resistance. Yeah. Fuck Never a Foul. It's hosted by a United fan, you know. Cass is a good content creator. He's brilliant. Hence why they have them near 50,000 subs. But I'm saying there is no shortage of Arsenal fans when you need to find one. Never a Foul. There's Hooks, there's Egal, there's D, I've seen KP on there, I've seen Gunner Street. There's a theme amongst those names that I'm laying. There's a certain narrative that they run. There's a certain side of the fence that they sit. So they'll bring these men on to say all the hyperbolic shit that they will try to use and crash it on the entire fan base later. And I'm here like, no, don't fucking call me when them men go hiding at the end of the season and you need to do content when it's blatantly obvious that you're doing clickbait shit. 100%. And I think Social joins. I think Godfrey, Darren, Sheldon, I've always said, it's the own fans' fault. Because Arsenal fans see Arsenal somewhere and just run, go click it. No discipline. You know what I mean? Man, we'll see rants talking about Arsenal. And there's plenty of United content for rants to talk about. United are undefeated since Carrick took over, no? That's a brilliant narrative and storyline to run. Nah, not Never a Foul, not them, because they haven't called me, never called me, and probably never will. But there are other channels that I've declined to make appearances on because I know exactly what they're doing. You're not about to use my motherfucking label for views, bro. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. Some of these channels, they will get to a certain point where they don't feel like doing content anymore. So they bring on smaller channel content creators, especially the delusional ones, and let them fight it out for views. Turn them against each other and let them cuss, and then they'll clip up that part of the show and then re-release it, republish it for more views. Heated. Arsenal fans going at it. Because it's always heated. It's one of those buzz keywords that feeds the algorithm. And it's the same shit. Never a Foul. You know what they're doing, bringing on them positive. 100%. It's brilliant strategy, but now how much longer the man them are gonna get bamboozled? And it's like, this is just silly, isn't it? These men discussing Arsenal more than their own team. They just want to use us for clout, but when we win, we're gonna salute them. 100. I'm clicking there. Like, there is, brother, if you're gonna do Arsenal content, at least have some representation, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You want to hear Carefree Lewis or anybody talk about Arsenal? Fuck Chelsea. Cass got to fill the week up with something. He's on one game a week. But if you do, okay, I'm doing content right now when there's barely any content to talk. Like, if you know football or you know how to deliver football takes and engage with your audience, then you shouldn't have to make up shit, innit? Because man will have 40,000 comments, but don't read any of them, and they'll just go back and forth on the panel. I can't do that, and I never want to get to a level where I'm not fully engaged with the chat. You know, that's why I don't do too many panel shows. I love having guests on, but one of the drawbacks when I have guests on, I can't really get into the comments. I'm reasoning with the people. I understand, but if you can't find guests, just do content, man. The chat will ride with you. You know, Dortmund are dumping Atalanta. That PSG one might not be over. You know, the 3-2. The PSG Monaco may not be over. I do think Atalanta are done for. Juve, the Barca game though. You think he'll be locked in? I think Vinny knows that the world is on his side right now, or mostly on his side. So he was doing antics and all this other stuff when everyone hated him. Now they hate him a little less because he's in his victim mode. So let me just say, don't be surprised if Vinny do some fuckery today. You know, if he's on a wind-up. You know, because I know the official, whoever's in charge of this one, will have had a memorandum or a letter to him. Like, this is going to be one of your tougher games. Going to be kind of testy. with all the things surrounding the football club right now. So give Vinny a little more leeway because he's gonna go out there and try to do some craziness. You know, I won't lose my shit until the end of the season. So this is when you say until the end of the season, do you mean May? Because the games that we're playing in May could mean nothing if we fuck off the league title. Or do you mean you won't lose your shit until our season ends? Because our season can end this month. We lose the final, fuck off a couple more games in the Premier League, and we see the back of Man City. Get by in the FA Cup but lose in the next round, or lose in the quarterfinal. The season could be over before the season is over. So I'm saying, do you mean until our season ends or until the end of the season? Because I don't need to wait till May to get angry. I was angry in the summer. I may come off as being angry now, but I'm not, because this is the season of no excuses. This is the season where we'll win something, or we'll be going into next season with fresh ideas, fresh tactics, a fresh player or two, and a new manager. Must. So I'm excited for 2027 already. I saw a streak that fucked off real quick, but I would be inclined for you to want to watch the delusional ones, Wahaha, because they're the ones who give you takes to hate Arsenal. You know what I mean? When you will hear man say all that dumb shit, and you'd be like, okay, clip, end of the season. You know, why wait? Well, you know, why argue with a Top Gunner when you can just wait? You know, I don't need to like United fans. Trust me, I know that feeling, my bro. I know that feeling. Like you don't need to like your own fans. Most of us on this side of the fence fully understand that. Man, like AHU, or Teta Hate University, big up people and BBK. Big you up, Maji. Thank you for being here. Big up the blacks. Honors and respect. Heated. They put this in and it works, you know. It works. If you put heated in your video, in your clipped up video, it could just be a regular conversation. But you put heated in there, the algorithm will send it to people who clicks on stuff that has, you know, drama in it. But you're gonna be hard pressed trying to find a clip of BBK arguing with another content creator, another fan online, back and forth. Right. No, I just won't. I'll make my case. I'll state my opinion, backed up by facts, data, statistics, or logic, rationale. I never have an emotional reaction. So that's probably why, you know, I will never be on some of them shows, because to get on some of those shows, you need personality. You know, I can't just tell you this. If I was on here just yelling this in the mic, you know what I'm saying? If I was Jimmy Spliffing it, telling everybody on the panel to suck my dick and fuck off and all this other shit. No. You know, I can't. Just let the content speak for itself. Bro, we ain't winning the league, unfortunately. Unfortunately with Yomi, I agree. I don't think we're crumbling. I think we crumbled with those between Liverpool at home and Wolves. I think that's the period where we fucked it. I do. You know. United People is a good United channel. No videos about other teams. 500K. That's United People's TV. Wow. Okay. Appreciate that shout. I thought Saeed was the biggest United content. It's like it's Goldbridge, then there's Saeed, and then there's the United stand with Flex and them, man. And there's the other one that you like that be on Dan Potts' show, the other Dan, right? Dan United. I think Dan United is good. I think he makes sensible take. PSG will cook Bumnako. I think that one might be, if there's anyone that might go pear-shaped today, I think it might be that one. You know, Monaco score first? Could be. The dare is to go. Oh God. Big up to man like Jacques Cousteau. What you telling me, man? The top gooner in the house. Top gooner in the house. Big up, man. Big up to the resident United how about that, Yasser? Big up to Yasser TV still. Make sure you go check out Yasser for all your latest Arsenal content. Yasser the tax man. Big him up, man. I use that same quote in my Goom chat to some top gooners. Why are you arguing with clouds when you can just wait? Yeah, just wait. Just wait, man. Because you see the language just change when they feel that they can't fight anymore, innit? You know, because I'm in group chat with plenty of top gooners myself, bro. And even this morning, I see one of them put something along the lines of 10 Cup finals. Bro claims he don't watch my channel. 10 Cup finals. Okay, bro. Yeah, I've heard that before because I've said it here many times. Cup finals, and we're counting down. You know, I had a guy ask me to rank the big six fan bases. I had Arsenal 4th, 5th, just because of lost standards and top gooners. Rank them. Like from first to worst, or from like least delusional to most delusional. And what's the rubric to rank the fan bases, or the fan bases? This is a tricky one. This is layered. I don't even know how I would navigate that question of rank them. You know, but that sounds like an interesting conversation. To be fair, but yes, we definitely have our fair share of wankers. Yeah, because you have the biggest fan base. So even if 1% of the United fan base is delusional, you're still talking about millions of people. And I have a certain level of respect for Man United because as a damn, see, I can't even get that shit out without coughing. God damn. Woo. My God. I have a certain level of respect for the United fan base, right? Because I have literally traveled the world, literally. The only continent I've never been to is the cold one. And everywhere I go, I see United shirts. Every single place. And if I go somewhere and I see 10 United shirts, I may see 5 or 6 Arsenal shirts, the Real Madrid shirts, Barcelona shirts. The shirts that I see the least when I travel the world, Chelsea, City. You see Tottenham shirts in America every here and there. But I will see City shirts anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So they're massive, because your fan base is that big. Even if 1 to 5% of your delusional wankers, it's still millions of people. You know what I mean? So I hear it. Yeah, I love Dan United. He's got his own channel and he keeps it on. I see him on Dan Potts. What's that show? Race for Europe or whatever. That's when I see him the most. But he always seems to know what the word accountability means. You know, he banters when he needs to banter, but his football takes a good. Man U tops the worst fan base category. We are a close second. Chelsea a close third. Yes, Jam Boy, I can see him now. It's been mad as of late. So yeah, this is one of them streams that just might the live chat replay may not be there all that well, but I do see your comments. If you put any in earlier, though I didn't see them, this is the first one I'm seeing from you. Big you up. Big up to Waffle Down. Yeah, I didn't see that one, and I promise no one is blocked. My Maz didn't block anyone. Yeah, come on over, Yasser. Come on over, man. Big you up. But I didn't see the other one, Gem Boy. I'm sorry. I couldn't bring it up. Revolutionary pot. Big you up. It's a pessimism versus optimism was what it boils down to. Because the main bulk of the fans want him gone if he doesn't win at least one trophy this year. And you know what? And you say that, and I think that's true generally. But you ever see when they ask these positive people, And they ask him that live on air, and they put him on the spot, and they ask him if he doesn't win anything. There's this uncomfortable pause. Like, bro, why are you pausing? Like, why is this even debatable? It's kind of like when we ask them, when we're talking about our own team, when we talk about tactics and setup and our system, and I ask them, if we have Erling Haaland in the team instead of Gyökeres, do you think Erling Haaland would struggle to score goals in our system? There's a pause. The fact that there's a pause, that one of the most generational strikers we've ever seen, you think he would struggle in our system, says you think something is wrong with our system. Who employs the system? Who sets this up? It's the coach. You know, so they will say they want him gone, but look at how they say it or what they say. Like, there's always a way to do anything. There's a way to win. There's a way to lose. Right? There's a way to win, and it's not Wolves at home where you needed 2 own goals to win the game. You take the 3 points and you move, but you know you can't win that way. There's a way to lose. If we go out on March 22nd and get slapped up 5-0 like City had slapped up Watford in a final at Wembley a couple of years ago, then that's devastating. Or fuck all that. You can just go to the Champions League final. There is a way to lose. The way Inter shit the bed in the final, that's not the way. That's why Inzaghi got sacked, yeah? If they had lost that game on pens, he's still their coach. But in a final, you display that poor, timid performance, there's a way to lose. There is a way to say you want Arteta gone. There shouldn't be no goddamn pause. If he doesn't win, does he? Yep, 100%. You said that with conviction. Let the veins pop out your neck. You know what I mean? Let the vein pop out your necks with the same passion that he's gonna go on, with the same passion that you have when you say this.
When was Arsenal founded, Rob? Because I know you know
1886.
How many years is that? 200 years. Under what manager have we scored the most goals? Under what manager have we scored the most goals in Arsenal's history?
I didn't know it was the year on
Wenger,
Arteta,
it's
isn't it?
Mikel Arteta. When have we got the most wins? Mikel Arteta. Right? I've seen us smoke Chelsea 5-0. I've seen us smoke Man City 5-1. Don't tell me that Arteta ain't got that in him, because he has.
Why today then?
I'm not going to lie. Today he let me down.
Today he let me down. He let me down. You see the veins in his goddamn neck. You see that vigor. Yeah. Say it with that same conviction. I say I smoke Chelsea 5-0. Mikel Arteta. Yeah. If he doesn't win anything, say he should be going with that same level of energy. Why you get into your squeaky voice? Why you get into your feminine energy when we're talking about him being gone? But you're fully masculine when it's time to praise him. 200 years. Mikel Arteta. Did he be sad? Nah. Come on, son. Come on, Positive Dan, Arteta's lead counsel. I had Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, Arsenal. You know what? I don't buy that Liverpool shit. I don't buy the Liverpool hype. Sorry, Monster. Sorry, Scants. Listen, there was this narrative talking about if Arsenal win the Premier League, their fans are gonna be unbearable and shit. And then you see how Liverpool them acted after they won this Premier League. They were unbearable this summer. Let's not pretend that our Liverpool mates were comfortable to be around or a joy to be around after they won this league title. And after they were moving the way they did in the transfer window, that's why everyone is happy at their downfall. They have loonies too, and they're not as united as they are because man won them a Premier League title in their first year, and the fan base was split and divided over onslaught after match week 10. And for full context and disclosure, match week 5, they were 5-0, top of the Premier League, and no one could tell them shit. 5 match weeks later, they were doing the same shit they accused Arsenal fans of doing. Yeah? When Trent decided that he was going to leave the plantation, all the motherfuckers acted like every other fan base. Emotional. They reacted emotional to it. It wasn't a logical... there wasn't a logical thought in sight that football is work and free agent is a thing in modern football, and he fulfilled his contractual obligations at Liverpool, and he wanted to go live in Madrid and play football in Madrid. And they did the same thing they accused every other fan base of doing, emotional. So, brother, I think the top 6 fan bases, I really think we're more alike than we are similar. We are. Everyone just like to point the finger at the other fan base and be like, look at this fan base. They're weird. They're this, they're that. But if we just take the fan base out of it and leave it to the content creators and use the content creators as a microcosm of the fan bases they represent, you will see that these men, they care more about Arsenal and every other club than they do about their own clubs. I just showed the clip or just showed the picture. Because I had views on here yesterday and I was cheeking and it was tongue in cheek when I said, where's your Chelsea upload? Where's your Chelsea match reaction? I know you didn't do one because you don't do Chelsea match reactions. But every Chelsea content creator does Arsenal fan reactions. Like, what's the why? They're all crazy. Liverpool fans, they were unbearable this summer, bruv. But they don't have the, they're together, they're united. No, the hell they're not. Just go back and look at the narrative in match week 10. Slide out, slide in. Slide out, slide in. That's 5 games ago, you were top of the league. Undefeated. 5 games later, you're split. Damn near fighting on stream. 1% of the Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people. That's a lot of loonies. City and United because they've won trophies, or they have reach. We are the bigger team. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I do think Liverpool are bigger than us. Yeah, I do. My dig at Liverpool is like I tell them all the time: you're bigger than Arsenal, you're bigger than Chelsea, you're bigger than City. But some of them think they sit at the table with Real Madrid. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't. You Slot. No, Jurgen Klopp won 1 Premier League title for you, and you were ready to build a statue for him outside. That's not Real Madrid-esque level shit. You know what I'm saying? No. So I hear it, but I don't hear it. Big up to man like TJ, man. Another admin note. I forgot the admin note. This Friday, I want to say 9 p.m. UK time, the American Idiots. I'm on with TJ. Appreciate the invite, bro. Love for that. When I was a kid, I knew nothing about football, but I knew Bex and CR7 and United were goated. Before CR7, there was Cantona. You know what I mean? Like when I was fully, Arsenal out and we were fully at the big boy table. That number 7 shirt, with the collar, Cantona. The United fans in the Cantona jersey could chat to us. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got you. He gets it wrong, but he admits his wrongdoings, no problem. Yeah. But, it was... I started consuming his content when United were in a bad place. I don't know how he is reacting now that you're on the up. But, yeah, it was the back end of Ten Hag and Amorim. They love the manager and his image more than they love the club. That's why they pause. Yeah. It's an uncomfortable pause, too, because it makes you look at them like, brother, I used to respect your footballing takes. Now you about to have a howler. You can't want to be sitting at big boy tables and then want to move like a little boy club when it comes to the manager. Because had we gotten to the final last year in the Champions League like Simeone did, like Inzaghi did, it doesn't matter if we lost 5-0. They wouldn't have sacked Arteta. They would have celebrated the final as if it was an accomplishment. That's an opinion or a projection, but I believe it to be true. That could have been us. Replaced us with Inter in the final. Arteta is still the manager of Arsenal Football Club. It would have been it's his first final. But you're a big club, you get embarrassed in the final, off you go. No one can convince me if they lost that final 1-0. They would have sacked him. Nah, but you can't embarrass a big club like that. Yeah, man, YouTube moving mad. Hopefully Hopefully YouTube will unfuck themselves by tomorrow, yeah? Yeah, when that music plays and that dopamine be chasing you, man. Yeah, brother, that dope. Just have to keep our feet on the ground. But we're here for it, We're here to know that we survived October, nasty November, December to remember, January, February, we were worried. But March, we can see this thing slip away from us. Because we went from having both hands on that motherfucker to giving Pep put one hand on it. Yeah. Never got invited to them, and I will never go to them. These men are strange, Big up to Jam Boy, man. Proverbs say though, though you grind a fool in mortar, grind them like a grain with pestle. Damn. You will not remove them folly from. You will not remove their folly from them. Sometimes you just can't help people. This was deep, Revolutionary Fight. That was some deep stuff right there. Oh, did he? Had he won that 5-0, you think he would have changed his mind? The dopamine, speaking of dopamine, he win that final 5-0 and he's like, yeah, I like this feeling. Let me stick around for a little bit. 200 years, wow. You will never live that down. Not as long as I got that clip. We can't get all these wins we want. What trophy has it led to? Yeah, speak on it, man. But I will never let him live that down. I got clips for Realist Gooner too when he comes on here because he can't get away with it because he let Positive Dan rub off on his ass after the Sunderland game.
No, wait. He came from Sweden, the girls are very nice. He dumped his girlfriend to play a red and white. He's scoring goals with.
You see Positive Dan doing his best hype man impression. You see, Realist Gooner is doing this thing. He's the man with the mic. He's performing, but Positive, hey, he's talking about, Creatine Dan have to make sure he get his licks in. I swear, man. Oh my God. Big up to Gianni, man. We're gonna have to talk, Gianni. We're gonna have to talk about Italian football, my G. Big up to the doctor. Big up to the doctor, my G. What we got? Yeah, man, Quadra, some more dappers going around. Arsenal, United, and Chelsea are the biggest fan bases outside of England. Chelsea now, post-Roman Chelsea. And I call out most of these Chelsea fans that when I even go to the homeland, most of the Chelsea fans now were Arsenal fans. Most of the City, like the Hamzas of the world, and Q and them, man. Matter of fact, he was a United fan, and then he switched to Chelsea when Fergie said something about African players or something like that. I'm like, bro, I can't trust your Chelsea take. You're a closet United fan. Like, what are you doing? Definitely gonna chop it up, man. Big up. Change to all messages on my end. Oh shit. YouTube won't unfuck themselves. Has been doing this for a while now, at least for me. Damn, man. My apologies. I hope for a good stream when I come on here, Hope for no glitches. And it's not like I can do like PMCS and check these systems. We're at mercy at the technology. UEFA Art Jokers, they passed a 1-match suspension on Pestiani. But it's their domestic league, which no one watches anyway. Henri was right to call top racism shit. It's just for photo ops. Yeah, and I think for today's game, I think UEFA wants any drama that could unfold around today's fixtures to be on the football. They don't want this racismo to be the talking point on the day, right? If Benfica shows up at the Bernabeu and do a remontada and win, that's a massive story, especially if they do it without the Argentina guy. And they don't want that to be overshadowed with anything else. They want to be talking about the football, right? They want the defending champs in PSG to go out in the playoff to Monaco. That's a big headline. That's a big story, right? They would love for Juve, the fat lady singing Turin, to knock out or erase a 3-goal deficit against Gala. They would love that. So they want to eliminate all the side dishes. And that business model I can respect, but you can do that while holding certain people more accountable. You know what I mean? And again, people, I apologize for YouTube doing YouTube things. You know what? And I don't get this. When I watch YouTube, I don't get any glitches when I watch it as a fan because I have the premium. I don't get the commercials or I get the other thing. Maybe YouTube probably doing some shady shit where they want to not guilt you, but want to irritate you and piss you off to the point where you go pay for premium so you don't get commercials or whatever the hell. Kind of like when the new iPhones are coming out, they slow down the old ones. They were found guilty of that. 1 year, you know, I had to pay a fine for tampering with the old phones. But yeah, big up to Blacks. The Kanye, of course, man. Player and manager. Legendary player and manager. Italian boss. It's not exclusive to your channel. No. Okay, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your patience, man. Do you think we have a better chance to win the Prem or the UCL? The Prem, because it's in our hands. Or was in our hands. Or it's in our hand. We have one hand on it. City have the other hand. We had both. And the luck of the draw, in it. But the thing is, I say you win 8 games, draw 2 more. As long as one of those draws is against Man City, you can win the Premier League. Like, you can map out your path to the Premier League title. The Champions League, you can run into a PSG in form. A PSG who goes into the playoff and they come in form. And big up to the bro Gianni, because he's hammered this point home as if we had won the Premier League in 22-23 or 23-24 or last year, if we had won any of the other Premier League titles, if we were going into the Champions League campaign playoff as Premier League champions and have picked up a cup, if we had any kind of winning momentum DNA in this team, I would be more inclined to say that we can go on and win the Champions League. But we've seen Man City win Premier League, fail in the champs, but build up enough winning mentality as Premier League champions, the hardest league in the world, they say. Build that up, and eventually it worked, right? Yeah, we saw Chelsea win 3 Premier League titles before they won their first Champions League. And they were winning other cups and winning other stuff while competing in the Champions League, you know? So Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012. They had won the Premier League in 2010. So had we won the Premier League in 23-24 with that, Premier League winning title experience, I think would help us. Now, so yeah, I'm inclined to believe that the Premier League is more, that gives us a better chance, because the Champions League, you just never know, man. The big moment players, man, I can't function without YouTube Premium. Yeah, I have Premium as well, so I can't do the commercials. And there's a reason, and I hope you men are not getting commercials right now, because I deliberately turn my monetization off during my live streams because I don't want you to get ads. I turn them on after the stream is ended, but while we're live, I turn them off. So you shouldn't be getting any ads. You shouldn't be seeing any did you like the stream type stuff, or none of that stuff when you go into the most chats. Yeah, man, I got Premium. It's just bugged. Okay. Yeah, hopefully they unfuck themselves, man. The type of money they make, the type of money these sponsors pay YouTube, they're doing well. PSG last season, rubbish in the group stages and punched everyone's head in when they got to the knockout rounds. Facts. They knocked out every English team. Premier League is the best league in the world and all this shit. Yeah, they knocked out every single one of us. Starting with the Premier League champion Liverpool. And then Villa gave him a good series. Home and away. Villa did give him a good run in the quarters. Knocked them out. Knocked us out in the semis. Go on to win it. Shit, they had a chance to knock out Chelsea in the Club World Cup and beat all the English teams. But Chelsea, the one-off, the final, the underdog, winning a trophy, Conference League, gave him the confidence. Hey, we won something together, something tangible to show our success. We don't have that. That's why I don't think we can win this Champions League. And got clips for days, Oh, that blocks the ads as well. Fair enough. You need a whole new browser to defeat these ads. Yeah, I turn them off, man. I don't want you guys to get ads while I'm, because then when you get ads, it doesn't bring you back up to real time, does it? Like, then you're behind on this stream. You know, views. Yeah, I think we're gonna reject to Gianni. I think Gianni is live with Abs as well for their yeah. Clean Through is on, isn't it? Clean Through is on soon. Okay, appreciate that, Kwaja. I get no ads. Firefox plus uBlock. Okay, yeah, I'd hate for you to get there. Okay, that's it. See, there it is, people. There it is. Firefox and uBlock. If you ain't got it, you're getting ads from your favorite YouTubers. Go ahead and get it. Ad revenues is rubbish anyway. Even if you're getting massive views, it's still pennies because people skip them anyway. 100, and it's only if you're getting thousands of views, right? Because I think they only pay per thousands. I think I've only had like 6 or 7 videos that hit 1,000 views, and that's usually after Arsenal lose. And that man that we talked about earlier, they come over here for tears after they see us lose. Yeah, so I turn the ads off on purpose for that reason. And I don't know if that helps the algorithm. If YouTube wants to push it out, if you got ads enabled, he might send it out to more people. Don't really care at this point. I don't, I'm not. We're indirectly here making money for YouTube anyway, but they'll be all right either way. Yeah, man. Sorry, apologies for that, Jam Boy. Again, but yeah, we got so I can run through them. PSG, not PSG. Yeah, I think PSG will get the job done. I think PSG will do them 2-1. I think that's the game I'm going to watch. I'll flip between that one and the Real Madrid and Benfica game. Juventus, Gala. Yeah, even though it'd be a great story to see Juve do it, I just don't. Gala, what you doing, man? Come on, you can't. If Bodo can go away to the San Siro and protect their. It wasn't even the lead. What did Bodo go into the game with a lead, or what? Were they tied? No, they had beat him 3-1 in the first leg. Yeah, so they beat good home leg. Yeah, if Bodo Glimt can go to Italy and protect a 2-0 lead, surely Gala have to put their nuts on the table and go to Italy and protect a 3-goal lead. You must. Right, so essentially, completing the round of 16 will be Dortmund, Gala, PSG, Real Madrid. Now, who's getting Real Madrid in the knockout round? Who's postured to who want that smoke? Someone else knock them out for me. Give me all the easy teams. I'm keeping a consistent energy from every cup competition. I want the easiest route to the final. Yeah? Yep. Nope. I know Shane is like, bring me City, bring me that. No, that's where Shane and I will disagree. Let's win this one. We'll win next year. Next year, we win that one in style. We'll call for the big dogs then, because then we have mojo to throw around. We can talk like we're champions of something. Until we're champions of something, give me the teams that I know we're better than. Even though that might be not be enough. In cup competitions, you do need a little bit of luck, but you also need some quality, and you also need some moments players. We have that. But see if that's enough to override the Arteta tax. You know what I mean? But since we got 30 people locked in, don't forget on Saturday, we are doing the members only stream. And on Sunday, we'll do the 2K giveaway. Thank you. Thank you, absolute legends. The prizes always have and always will be $100, $100 US. I don't know how much that work out to in UK money in case someone from over there wins it. But no, it's not a lot. But it's enough to fill your tank up. It'll fill your tank up. You can buy you some brew, a couple of pints, a bottle of Hennessy, a bottle of Grey Goose, get you loose, whatever. But I am going to give back to the community this weekend. So it might be right before the Chelsea game. So I'll get some joy out of giving just in case. Just in case this club decides that they want to try to ruin the damn Sunday again. Because they almost tried last week. They tried their very best. Gifting Tottenham a goal. Deckers, don't you dare. Now, speaking of Chelsea, as we look forward, Declan Rice, you have a hell of a challenge on your hand next week. And it's good to have a week off, right? I think it's a first time in a long time that Arsenal have had a week of football off, completely off. Not name an international break. Now, Declan, I know you heard the talk. You heard it back in the earlier part of the season. Who's the best midfielder in the world? Declan Rice, guys say that, blah, blah. What I'm trying to say is that Chelsea will be up for this game. Don't let the 1-1 against Burnley fool you and all this. They will be up for the game, especially in the middle of the park. The biggest challenge for Chelsea will be keeping 11 people on the pitch. Yeah. And even if they go down to 10 men, then Chelsea won't panic because they have the recent historical context of they went down a man to Arsenal and still didn't lose the game. Matter of fact, some will argue they ascended in the game and had a chance to nick it for their reverse fixture. But it's glad to see the boys get a rest. I know Declan needs it. He's played all but 1 Premier League games. I know Zubimendi desperately needs it. He has started all except for 1 Premier League game, but played all 28. Norgard. I'm sorry. You know, I wasn't the biggest Norgard fan, the biggest fan of the signing, but damn, we might as well had not signed him. When the minutes are so disproportionate, you see poor man management there, and you have to ask, if you are Norgard, are you still mentally locked in? Is he in the squad for Denmark? Is Denmark one of those teams that's so void of talent that even if one of their players is getting bid part minutes at Arsenal, will still get a call up? Because then we would have Skelly, who has lost his World Cup spot due to lack of minutes, match sharpness, match fitness. You would have Eze, who would have lost his place in the England squad to either Morgan Rogers, Phil Foden, or Cole Palmer, who are playing heavy minutes. Morgan Rogers and Phil Foden have had great patches of form this season. Not so much for Cole P. He might be injured again this Sunday because, you know, he gets his customary float before he ever comes to the Emirates every year. So it'll be Eze, it'll be Skelly, and it will also be Norgard on that list at risk for losing his spot. Where is he mentally? This type of stuff means something to certain players, certain demographics got a little bit more than others. If you're Gabriel Magalhaes, you're going to the World Cup, right? You are Brazil's starting center back. How do you approach these games later on in the run-in? Do you go flying into tackles? Was that playing in your head when you just decided to dive when Colomwani pushed, or you didn't want to take any unnecessary contact? Led to a goal. Mentally. It's time for these players to lock in, stay motivated, and it's one person's job to keep them locked in and keep them motivated. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, the goose will get you loose. It'll also make you puke. That gray goose don't get you loose. That E and J go make you pay. Yes, sir. That's for my alcoholics. Right out. Well, trophy day or sacking day, there will be some drinking on stream. I don't promote, but shit, it's going to happen. That's going to be a day where we're going to have a party over here. Monetization is always off. Anyway, we're going to take a couple of copyright strikes. So we are going to run some tunes. They definitely need a break, Revolutionary Pod. More so, our midfielders, desperate. Now, if we had gotten to this point and the minutes were evenly distributed, not evenly, but a better proportion between Norgard and Zubimendi, between this guy and that guy, between Benjamin White and Timber. And then, in addition to having a week off, the minutes were being spread out a little more. That little bit of extra energy could go a long way. What's that drink? Grey Goose, they call it. Yeah, I actually prefer Belvedere, but I fuck with Grey Goose still. I'm not a vodka heavy type guy. You know what I mean? Never fail. Not near never. Grey Goose, not even vodka. Belvedere. Oh, see? I swear I didn't even see this. I did so much say alcoholic. You better crazy, you know. Yeah. Oh my God. 1 second, man. Just for this. Just for you drinkers.
I'm drinking rum and Red Bull, and you see, let me have
Hey.
you want me get off like your money.
Damn, I played that too long. I swear I was trying to hit the button to stop it. I know I played that for more than 10 seconds. You see, you man got me off by that rocker, you know. Drinking rum and Red Bull. This is not vodka. This is lemon water. Belvedere is far superior for starters, and it's not made of potatoes like Smirnoff. Hey, Pot, what do you think of Absolute then? Is Absolute above Grey Goose, Belvedere, or Grey Goose and Absolute in the same category? Player of the match performance award given Norgard against Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup 2 weeks ago. A bunch. Never. That's the thing. We've seen players do this before. Do mad things and then get benched. Pretty sure Belvedere's making vodka for over 600 years, you know. I hear that. I wanna hit one of those Belvies that's been, you know, fermented for time. Like Grey Goose, you know, big up to Darren, man. Say, nah, gin and scotch and whiskey are top tier. Okay, see, this is when I defer, because you know, back in the day, man, like even in my deployments, we used to have to sneak alcohol into Afghanistan. You know, we have to be sober. General Order 1 Alpha, we couldn't drink. We had to sneak some Russian vodka, some of the cheapest aristocrat shit you've ever. It comes in a plastic bottle, gives you a headache from hell. But man, in those dog days in the desert, you needed something to take the edge off. And we didn't even know if that was real vodka, but we needed something. You know, but you know, from when I make my own Long Island iced teas, you know, for gin I use Seagram's, you know, for the tequila I use Patron. You know, whiskey I'm flexible with, but you know, my favorite whiskey is Crown Royal still. You know, I like that Crown Apple. The Grey Goose is a yin yang twin song, one of my favorites. Huh? Get low. BBK definitely got a Polish brethren giving them that vodka knowledge. I actually deployed with the Polish army, the Polish Special Forces, Polsov, German Soft, back in 03, 04. And we couldn't have alcohol, but they could. Like, they are authorized to have alcohol, and we would make friends with the Germans just so we could get some liquor from them. You know what I'm saying? They would bring liquor and women on deployments with them. Crazy how they operate. Oh, okay. If it's not grain vodka, I won't drink it. Grain is superior. I can't go back. See? Write this shit down. You know? See, I got my notepad here. I write that shit down. You know, grain is superior. Can't go back. Yeah, it's kind of like if I drink the VSOP, I can't go drink the Hennessy Black or the regular Hennessy, you know. Black said the Tanqueray, you know. Big up Mr. Pads. Tanqueray. Shit, man. Yeah, man. I have a drink. You know, I dabble. You know, it's 24 years and you have to take a sip of something to keep you sane, man. Because we be in some dire places with nothing to do for time. Tanqueray. I never had a whole lot of Tanqueray, you know, I'm not gonna be lying. Yeah, man. And this is it. We record tomorrow again for episode 4. Episode 3 is out now for the Cold Corner podcast. Appreciate you, Mr. Pads. Gentleman's Jack and Crown Apple, my favorite whiskey, Blue Label and the Black Label for Scotch. Hendrix gets a shout. And the Yin Gin, the best. Hey, the best gin. I hear it. I defer. Bombay Sapphire for gin. Jameson for whiskey. Yeah, Jameson is the budget mode, but it's good. Whew. What about rum? What you man think of rum? Like your Bacardi or your Ray and Nephews in that, yeah? Because I see the gin, I see the whiskey, but I don't see the rum. You men are not rum lovers. And we done did the whole vodka thing and didn't even mention Ciroc. Is Ciroc a knockoff? Or is it the Diddy boycott? Because that mango Ciroc, a mango flavored Ciroc, it was all right. It was all right, man. Okay, yeah, Hendrix. I like Hendrix. No for the rum, yeah? Hendrix is lovely. Oh man, that's no rum. We're gonna have to get hey, Darren, Sheldon. We need to get Wahaha some Ray and nephew. Ray and him nephew them. Yeah? And see how that goes. Because brother, I don't drink as much now still. Now that I'm older and I get other ways that I can entertain myself. I really don't do a whole lot of drinking now. But I do drink socially. And I thoroughly enjoy it. You know those people, why do you drink? Alcohol is bad for you. Because I like it. I like to have a little sip of something when I'm doing my thing. What's the problem? Don't you judge me. Please don't judge me, and I won't judge you. And I'll them something that. You know what I mean? But big up to you absolute legends, man. What we got? Ray Appleton. Crack independent on what I'm having. Now that Appleton is not for the faint of hearts. The Appleton, it burns your nose hairs if you have them. You know, burn your chest plate that burn me. And I like my Appleton. I like to drink it straight, but I have to sip it slowly. Rum, whiskey, bourbon, and tequila, premium tequila. Ooh, see, that's some hardcore drinking savants in the. It's the Diddy. Okay, cool, gotcha. Aged Glyphindich, and it's probably the whiskey I drank, but it was probably a special occasion. Do y'all buy those super expensive bottles in the airport and duty free when you travel? You see those that Hennessy bottle for $600 or that Crown that's for $400 or $500. Do y'all buy those? I don't really fuck with them. You know, I was like, nah. Drink mango juice with ice cubes in it. Love tequila. Patron, Jose, 1800. I'm gonna drink Patron. It has to be. I'm drinking tequila as Patron. That Jose Cuervo. I never met the gentleman, but you know, you gotta take it and then hit the salt. I can see why Haha taking the shot, hitting the salt or the lemon. Fruity Band say, if you like whiskey, try, what's that? Glenallachie, 15. Right now, I'm gonna have to write this down. The Bodega and all these fancy names that I can't even pronounce. Top notch. Okay, fair play. Crown Apple. Try the peach. Try the peach, Puerto Rican. The peach is good. The peach flavored. The regular Crown doesn't do it for me anymore. Ever since, so I get like apples. Go to the supermarket, get regular apples instead of apple juice, and I juice them myself. I make the apple juice myself, and then chase the Crown Apple with real apple juice. Brother, that headache or hangover that you don't get that. I'm telling you. So try that. That's what I'm recommending. Whiskey, I don't think anything below 10 years. See, that's the standard right there. Man has standards for his football club and high standards for his drinks. And I can respect it, Revolutionary Pop. I feel like this is turning into a members only stream. And this is kind of like what the members only stream is going to be like. And just for the members who can't watch because you're landlocked or you can't become a member, what I will do is I will pin the StreamYard link in the community page so you can be on the panel or you can watch the show that way. Yeah, I'm going to do that for the people who support the channel who aren't members. So another admin note. And if I'm feeling froggy, give me some Bacardi. Damn. Who you got in the what? Give me little judges for 20. Little lead judges, not good enough. Tequila straight up shots. You know, something tells me Waha has woken up somewhere and don't remember how he got there. These shots. So, all right, story time. Goddamn, fuck the members, Chief. I was gonna tell this. My 22nd birthday. I'm in Afghanistan. My 22nd birthday, right? We're deployed. Me and all the boys. I can tell this story now. Goddamn it, I've been debriefed. I'm turning 22, so we decided we're going to take 22 shots. I don't know where these men got all these bottles from. They had Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. That's what we had. When you're in the desert, you can't be picky. That's what we had. We had what you have. Man them said, hey, C, they call me C for Chambers, right? They said, C, we're taking 22 shots. I thought they meant we're going to take 22 shots apiece. No, I thought they were going to take 22 shots together, like between the 6 of us. Nah, that man said 22 apiece. Right? I remember getting to 16. And I think it was like a Friday night or something. I woke up the Sunday. So there's a day in my life that I don't even remember fucking with liquor. Now, I won't do that shit again. That was reckless. Being that drunk in a combat, that was reckless. That was damn near, had we been caught, that would have been, UCMJ court-martial type shit. You know what I'm saying? But I won't do that stuff again. But, it's a cool story to tell. Next up, the cigar talk, Hey, matter of fact, we'll save that one for the members too. I've had a blackout or two, no more than 2. So I have one, and that was the story that I just told. The whole Saturday was missing from my life that I can't even get back. But people, big uno up every single time. I'm gonna send you over to the broski. That's Gianni. He is on right now, so big him up. Like I always say, for yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.